I've been busy. That's the overflow of wood. Well, that and what's under the green tarp over beside the woodshed. The rest is in the shed, and I have a few scraps of it left over here that I just didn't have room for, and I'm just tired and I'm not about to deal with this year. Those are what was left of those two Douglas firs when we took them out. And this is the world as it looks after a rainstorm. It started raining last night at 12:15 at night, and it kept going until well into the morning. I'd say about 10 or 11. It was still raining, and it's still overcast. It may rain again today. We can use the water. Oh my goodness, can we use it? And east up the canyon here, I don't know if you can see that hill up there is just completely denuded of trees. That's from the fire. Oh, there's some rain coming down. How about that? There's a fire further east up the, it's called the Bull Run Fire. And it's been burning now for a month or so. This should help put it out. That'll be nice. Got some new neighbors next door. And let's go here in the shop and show some of the things I've been playing with lately. Oh boy, let's turn that on. Let's turn on the rest of the lights here. Light. 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 And light. Yeah, I need a new bulb. I need a couple of new bulbs. Anyway, what have I been working on? Well, for one thing, I've been working on molds. Oh, here, this is interesting. This is I think it's a horrible freight cart of some kind that my cousin found at a flea market or a yard sale or something. Paid $5 for it. But somebody had welded on these two side panels and put some caster wheels on it so it moves around easy. Well, I added these to the sides to give it a little more stability. Then I found this, that's a side panel out of a Dell Tower computer. Fits perfectly, so that made a shelf. Here's my main reloading station these days. It's pretty complete now. And here's some dies over here. And other tools. Tools and tools. And then we have tools. Oh boy. That cart was the first bit of welding I've done this year. I think I did a right good job of it. Oh, look at that down there. Oh, gosh. I need to clean up out here. I really need to clean up. This, see, I got a new tailstock. It's because this one was shot. Well, I got this bar here, and I'm thinking, if I thread this is the wrong thread, but if I rethread this with the correct thread, I could put a 3-jaw chuck on it and have a chucked tailstock to go with this grizzly lathe. That'd be kind of cool. And anyway, with that in mind, I pulled this out of the junk pile and mounted it. This is a pipe vise, and it's great for holding things when you're trying to crank on them. This is the chuck I'm thinking of putting on that. It's a spare I had for my Dalton lathe. You know, it's ones like this or that collet chuck are just a wee bit too big for it, but that Dalton one might be just about the right size. So let's see. Oh, also I got this from my cousin. Look at this nice shelf. It's also on casters, and it adds a nice shelf to add some extra toolboxes over here where I can get to them. And so I got the Craftsman sitting on the Craftsman now. I don't know where I got that Master Mechanic thing. I think that was from a pawn shop. And I know that clone of a Kennedy toolbox came from a pawn shop. Got that from my cousin. And that I picked up, oh gosh, oh, that's the one I got from the old lady in Chicago whose husband died. That was his toolbox. And then I got this one, where'd I put it? I had another one. Oh, this one. That one's I picked up at a flea market up in Mill City. Kind of cool. You know, it's yet another Kennedy. It doesn't have the Kennedy logo on it anymore. That one does. Oh, excuse me, that one does. This one doesn't have, what is the logo on it? It says Key to Quality. What's the name on it? Oh, Waterloo. I've never heard of Waterloo. Of course, I've heard of U.S. General. That's the Harbor Freight brand. And this is something called Task Force. I got that at a thrift store in Almsville, and I use it to hold mainly bits and bobs, you know, like high-speed tool bits for the lathe here, or for both lathes, really. I'd like to get another lathe. By the way, for metrology, I don't have a high-end steric block, you know, granite stone that's been properly ground down. But what I do have, this is an extremely thick glass plate that was molded and then ground down to use for some kind of a I don't know. It's called a Mutens Schwill Camus, which is some kind of a test equipment for laboratories. But it works great as a metrology surface. At the moment, it's a bit dirty, but I've got it just sitting on a table. But it's relatively level, and I do have a few metrology tools to mark things with. That's kind of fun. Anyway, that's the state of the lab or the shop today. Mainly, I don't create much out here. What I do is when somebody comes and says, my left-handed Gimshaw isn't doing the widget right, I fix it. My sister came over the other day with a cart she'd bought at a yard sale, and the wheel fell off. And I went, well, it's missing its bearings. So I sort of cobbled together some washers and some grease and a nut, and I put the whole thing back together again, and it's not a bearing, but it's so well lubed that it'll take the place. Anyway, baling wire and bubble gum.